All right, you guys ready? Council members, we're all set? All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with our closed session agenda. This is Wednesday, October 18th, 2023, and it is 4 o'clock. And I'm going to go ahead and call our session to order. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak or any correspondence that's been received on our closed session items?
No, we do not have any speakers and no correspondence.
All right, very good. Thank you. So, council members, we will now go ahead and recess to closed session. We'll be back at 6 o'clock for our regular meeting. Thank you. Okay, folks, we're going to start in just about 1 minute. We had a closed session that went a little bit long, and I think our council members are going to be joining us in just a second, so please bear with us, but we'll start in just a minute. Thank you. Our council members coming to their seats, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to call our council meeting to order. Today is Wednesday, October 18th, 2023, and I want to welcome everyone who's here. I'm going to call the meeting to order now, and it is 6:11, and I will ask our city attorney if there's anything to report out of closed session. Mr. Ajit Thind is sitting in for our closed session item.
Thank you, Mayor Ajit Thind. Good to see you all. The City Council met on items 1 through 4 as listed on the closed session agenda. Items 1 and 2, there was no reportable action. On item 3, there was reportable action. By a 3-2 vote with Council members Carwin, Estrada, and Dinas in the majority, City Manager Villa has been placed on administrative leave with pay, pending the completion of a comprehensive and internal personnel investigation. This action is not punitive or disciplinary. It is simply to allow a personnel investigation to be completed. On item 4, by a 5-0 vote, the City Council has appointed Rebecca Kramer as acting city manager. All business of the city will continue to proceed as normal. That's my closed session report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thind. We appreciate the report. With that, Madam Clerk, have you received any correspondence on tonight's agenda?
No, I have not.
All right, thank you. And at this time, would you please call roll?
Councilmember Dinas?
Here.
Councilmember Estrada?
Here.
Councilmember Sobek?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Carwin?
Here.
And Mayor Zimmerman.
And I'm here. Thank you. We are now on item 3. This is Words of Inspiration, and I believe we have Bishop Mark Lavelle from Menifee Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Lake Menifee Ward. Thank you, Mr. Lavelle, for coming, and we appreciate you giving us some words of inspiration tonight.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful for this wonderful evening we have to meet together. We're grateful for this wonderful community we have. I'm grateful for the laws and the freedom that we have in this country to protect us. We're grateful for those in this community who serve us, including the members of the City Council, and ask a blessing upon them. They will have the wisdom needed to address the issues in this community. I'm grateful for the first responders in this community who serve and put their life at risk to keep this community safe, and ask a blessing of safety upon them. And we ask a blessing upon all those in this world at this time of difficulty, all those dealing with struggles and calamities, that they will find some peace and solace. And we ask that those who have hatred and ill will in their heart, that their hearts can be softened to peace and love. And we pray that that message will be spread throughout this world. And these things we say in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Bishop Lavelle. We appreciate you being here tonight. All right, we are now on our Pledge of Allegiance, item 4. And I see one of our school board members, Mr. O'Donnell, is here. He's closest to the podium. So, Bob, if you don't mind leading us to the flag salute, please. Let's all stand.
Let's all stand and put our hand over our hearts. Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you very much. We are now on our presentations, and I'm going to ask our council members to come up to the front. And if we could have Adriana Moreno from the Safe Family Justice Center also join us up front. So, council members, let's go in front of the dais, please. Oh, sorry. It's okay.
My name is Marshall Hamilton. I supervise our Southwest region for Safe Family Justice Centers, which is the local victim service provider.
All right. So today we have a proclamation. I'm going to give this to you. And this is for our Domestic Violence Awareness Month proclamation. And the city is declaring this month that. And as we all know, that is something that we need to eliminate and eradicate as much as we can. I know we have a domestic violence shelter here in Menifee that serves those victims. And so we have them in mind and in our hearts as we make this proclamation. I don't know if you want to just share a little bit about what Safe Family Justice does and some of the things you guys are accomplishing. So I'll give this back to you.
Thank you. Yeah, Safe Family Justice Centers has actually existed since 1998, and we've been in the county since then. We've been working really hard to make sure that victims of violence have safe place to go, not only with the shelter that's here in Menifee, but also just resources in terms of restraining orders, access to court services, access to city services. Here in Menifee, actually, in the just year to date, we've served over 400 families. So it's a pervasive issue. Most likely, you know somebody who's suffering from family violence, and we've served about a quarter of our kiddos. So we go to the school sites, educate on violence, educate the community. We work really closely with Menifee Police Department to make sure that any call out actually has services that we follow up with internally. So.
Well, thank you so much for everything that you and your team do for our residents, and we appreciate you. And we're proclaiming this month Domestic Violence Awareness Month. If we can take a photo together. Okay, council members, let's stay up front because we now have our Citizen of the Month. And I see Jackie Johansson's here, so come on up. What a wonderful choice. Each month, we council members rotate and we choose someone that we see out in the community that is doing good deeds and selfless acts and giving to others. And so today's recipient is Jackie Johansson, a longtime resident in Menifee, and she was chosen by Councilmember Sobek. So I'm going to have Councilmember Sobek share a few words about her choice.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Jackie, for being here tonight and having your beautiful family here with you. So you actually, I keep a list of people that I see around the city that could be a great example and be this recipient. And you were on my list, but I got bugged by two other people in the city who wanted to nominate you as well. And so I just want to share a little bit about Jackie. And I think you'll all agree with me that she's well-deserved to be October Outstanding Citizen of the Month. 5th year as the Menifee Union School Board member and served 3 of those years as the board president. And consecutively years during COVID, responded to all parents who had concerns. She has been a church youth leader and volunteer, previously a Menifee Cub Scout leader and volunteer. She teaches biology, marine biology, and environmental science at MSJC. And she has been just, let's see, this is already repeated here. She's a mother of 5 children and a volunteer in her community. Mrs. Johansson is a humanitarian who has been active in the human welfare of the people of Guatemala. She has visited this country twice in the last 3 years to provide aid to mothers who are nursing their newborn babies and showing them how to work in sanitary conditions to prevent sickness. Mrs. Johansson is a certified scuba diver and has worked in reef restoration in the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park in Australia. These are just a few of the reasons I feel that she is the individual of recognition, and I hope this will help in her presentation. Congratulations as October Citizen of the Month. Would you like to say something?
Well, thank you for this to Lisa, who I have actually worked with and known since we moved here in 2000, and I have seen work and volunteer with kids and different things, and from the council, who I know Bill really well and have served with him. But I am grateful for everything that you guys do on the city to help support kids and youth and make this a great place to have our kids grow. I actually enjoy working on this school board, and there's a number of school board people here tonight that I'm grateful they came along. In the school district, there's so many great things happening for kids, and besides just education, we're growing after school programs and helping partner and build programs for parents that are working that need extra support after school to help provide after school programs and interventions for their kids. I don't know if you want me to talk about Guatemala for a minute, but in our area, there was about 25 different kids that came together that helped us in May. Kendra also was along with me because she wants to be a nurse, so she went down to Guatemala both times. And we work with gathering supplies and making packets for mothers. Like they homemade, our kids here homemade like soaps and gathered blankets and sleepers and hats and put together 200 different packets that when we went to Guatemala, then we got some Kaiser nurses from here to come with us to teach 42 doctors and nurses in Guatemala how to resuscitate babies that are born not breathing. And then those packets from our kids were able to be handed out to the doctors and nurses so that they can distribute those to the families in need. So it's awesome to see the different like projects that can happen between spaces and help each other grow. But thank you for this awesome recognition. I see the other people that get picked each month and I'm like, they're amazing. And so to be in that group is like pretty cool. So thank you for that.
Congratulations. So what I'd like to do is, Phil, if you're ready with the camera, we're going to do a photo with the council. Then we're going to have her family come up and join us, and then everybody else who's here that's supportive. So we'll kind of just keep growing this picture, and you'll end up in the back of the room to get us all in. I'm sorry. We do have that for you. This is her husband, Kevin, and all the kids. Yes. Okay, so we'll slide over just a little bit. Come on in, you guys. All right, and then anybody else who wants to come in, Bob
I think the
and
awesome
Chad
school
and
board needs to be here.
Dr. Ruth, Vicky.
Yes.
Oh, look at this. We even have flowers. Oh, for me? All right, congratulations. Yes, well done. Bob, thanks for coming. Chad, thanks for coming. All right, next up, we have our last presentation item, and this is our business spotlight. And I see Gus is here. So, Gustavo, come on up and join us. He is with Tacos and Tequila, one of our very favorite newish restaurants. Coming on in the middle, I'm going to put Gina in here with you because she's going to share a little bit about this month's recipient.
Good evening, Gina Gonzalez, Economic Development Director for our big, beautiful city. How many of you are familiar with our business spotlight besides Michael Knighton? This is great. So this is our business spotlight program where we like to recognize businesses that go above and beyond the call of business each and every day in our community. And so to read a little bit about this month, which is October's business spotlight, is Tacos and Tequila Grill and Cantina. And tonight we have our GM, Gus, here with us. We're really excited to have you. But Menifee is very proud to honor Tacos and Tequila Grill and Cantina as one of Menifee's businesses that goes above and beyond. They come from Vicente Diaz, comes from a long lineage of those with a passion for creating delicious culinary experiences for others. His grandfather started his first business in San Diego over 100 years ago with the dream to pass down his restaurant and culinary expertise from generation to generation. This dream has turned into a legacy with many of his children and grandchildren to bring their own passion for Mexican cuisine to various communities throughout Southern California and beyond. Included in this is Vicente, who unfortunately is not here tonight, but is well represented, let me tell you, who opened Tacos and Tequila Grill and Cantina in 2022 after setting his sights on Menifee to open a brand new sit-down restaurant concept, noting the vibrancy and rapid growth of our community. All of their dishes are inspired from different regions of Mexico, from Baja to Jalisco to Michoacan, bringing the authentic flavors and handcrafted details. Along with the genuine flavors in their cuisine, Tacos and Tequila is known for their signature craft cocktails. Many that you create, huh? Many including tequila imported directly from the small batch farms in Mexico, creating a unique flavor profile in their drinks. The restaurant has quickly become a staple in the Menifee community. As news of their welcoming atmosphere and fresh food had hit the town, they found the need for expansion in less than a year, which was completed in 2023, and allows for an elevated dining experience and additional space for celebrations. Tacos and Tequila are heavily invested in our community and are always finding ways to support our business community and partnerships through various events and programs, including the popular Menifee Taco Trail, even featured within their menu. So with that, as part of the free business recognition program, we get to work with each of the recipients in creating and crafting a commercial that they could use for their own marketing needs. So with that, if we can roll, please.
Awesome. Let's put our hands together for that. So Gus, you and Vincent are going to be able to use that video on social media and help with some marketing and all of that. But really, this award is because we appreciate you choosing Menifee as a place to bring your business, and to there's all the residents in this community have been telling us we want more mom and pop type places and less corporate. That's exactly what you are. You brought that, and there's so many people who enjoy it. And I always enjoy seeing you creating some new cocktail creation. And how many of you guys like tacos? Woo! There's every single hand. So good choice. Gus, we wanted to give this to you. We are going to get it framed for you in a nice glass frame, and you can put that on the wall. I remember you have one already there from when you cut the ribbon that day, and the Chamber of Commerce was there as well. But anyway, congratulations, and we really appreciate you, and we hope that you continue to be successful. I love that you doubled the size in the first year, so well done with that. And who knows, maybe you keep expanding as long as business stays well. So I'm going to give you a little opportunity to share a few words so people know a little bit more about you.
Of course. We couldn't choose a better city but Menifee. We have learned so much about this city. One of the things I learned here is its community. It's really family oriented, and it makes a big difference. I've been doing this for 13 years myself, and I have the most united team I ever had. When we opened, Gina, the mayor, Armando, the city council manager, came to introduce themselves. It's just a really, really welcoming city. We had so many surprises. It's been really challenging because I was training my staff while that we had expansion. We had to expand. We had to submit all the paperwork. But we have so many surprises to this community. I know City Menifee, it's called the City of Innovation. That's we are bringing to the plate. We are bringing Mexican innovative cuisine, okay? So we're excited to be here, and stay tuned because we're gonna have a lot of surprises for you guys. Thank you, Menifee.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to say anything? All right, so we'll take a photo together, and again, congratulations, Gus. Please tell Vince that we said how much we appreciate him bringing the business and this great team that you have. So, yeah, thank you. All right, I think that wraps up our presentations. We can go back to our dais. Wait a minute, unless I'm wrong. No, I think that's right. And then the next is fire update, so we can come to the dais. All right, I see Chief Olson is at the podium, so I'll go ahead and turn it over to you, sir. Thank you for being here.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is your update for July, August, and September. So first, our statistics for the quarter. Our emergency response time remained low and underneath that 5-minute benchmark that we've set at 4.7 minutes for all emergency calls for service. Total calls for service, we ran 3,459 calls. Of that, we had 8 structure fires and 1 fire in a multifamily dwelling, and 146 traffic collisions and 22 wildland fires. The statistics underneath that show what was run within those fire stations' primary response area, as well as what the individual units out of those fire stations ran. And then the breakdown on the right is the call types in detail and percentages that we run. For our automatic aid agreement with the City of Canyon Lake, we assisted the City of Canyon Lake 12 times, and Canyon Lake Fire Department assisted the City of Menifee 4 times. And as one of our goals was to improve our automatic aid agreement with our partners to the south in the City of Marietta, that was recently signed by the Board of Supervisors, which changes the original automatic aid agreement and expands its ability and strengthens our partnership with Marietta Fire Department. Automatic response upon notification, we don't have to go chief to chief to get approval for those resources. If they're the closest resource, they'll go. We still have some technology pieces that we're working on to make that and improve it and make it real quick and fast, but that is in play, and you will start to notice that that equipment is exchanged between the cities and sharing. And it's up to the 2 closest resources. So we don't drain out of either city, but if their 2 units are closer than ours, they'll come help us, and vice versa. We'll do the same for the City of Marietta. And for our Menifee Lifesavers program, during the quarter, we trained 140 new community members in CPR, defibrillator training, and basic first aid, offered up to 32 classes. And year to date, we've handed out over 715 vial of life kits and have a total now of 193 Menifee Lifesavers within the community. Oh, I went too fast. So I wanted to highlight one of our next steps in our Menifee Lifesavers program is our public access defibrillator program that we're rolling out, which in the community will look at nonprofit businesses and assisting them in getting automatic external defibrillators within those facilities, as well as helping for-profit businesses in a shared cost agreement to get additional automatic external defibrillators within the city and available for use. And for our fire marshal's office, they completed 337 plan reviews and 781 inspections. And we've had a little bit of shuffling of the deck. We've hired a new fire inspector, Renee Jimenez, and he replaced the promotion of Mitch Duardart to our fire safety specialist that's doing plan review. And then our all-star fire marshal has been promoted to the rank of deputy fire marshal and will remain here within the city of Menifee.
Good for her. Congratulations, Sonia. Yeah.
And to highlight some significant incidents that we had during the last quarter, we wanted to talk about traffic collisions. So you can see we have some severe traffic collisions there that are up. The one on the right actually was one of the hotter days of the year and caused a severe power outage where there wasn't air conditioning within some of our residents along the McCall Boulevard, and we had to open a cool center. I'd like to remind everybody and echo what our police chief says, and that we can look at all the mitigations, but we have to take some ownership as a community, slow down and understand that looking at your cell phone is no different than drinking and driving. There are risks and dangers with it. And for our public safety message, I wanted to highlight something that we're starting to notice an uptick in the fire department as everything becomes electronic, whether it's an e-bike to the cell phones and the lithium-ion batteries. The 2 bullet points I'd like to highlight on there for everybody to pay attention to is the use of off-brand products. Please don't use off-brand products. And the other one is make sure that any of your electronic devices have a UL certification. You'll know that by in the top right-hand side of that slide, it has that UL label that is Universal Laboratories, and it means it meets safety testing requirements to be in your house and won't cause a fire. That concludes my report unless you have any questions.
All right, Chief Olson, thank you very much. Council members, do we have any questions? Councilmember Sobek's in the queue.
I just have a question on the defibrillators that you're going to be doing in the businesses. Do you provide a training as well?
Yep.
How will you get the businesses to like, is there a certain number that you need per business? Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
So they'll work with our Joe Selk, our EMS specialist, and there's an application that they'll put in and that we'll review within, and then we have a set budget every year, and we will help those businesses that put in the application and are willing to go through the training and the process, and we'll assist them in acquiring the AEDs, help them out with what locations that they're going to be putting them in, as well as set up a training program, and then Joe will administer that program and make sure that they keep all of their devices up to date, and say they had a use of it, he'll be able to pull that data and we'll be able to collect it and use it within the city.
Great, thank you for that. One other question that isn't in your report. When your next report comes, the next time you do the quarterly report, can you share a little bit about fire extinguishers and having them in your home?
Absolutely.
Would you be able to do that? Thank you. Thanks.
Any other questions or comments for Chief Olson? All right, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate your report. All right, next up, I'm going to call up our police chief, Chris Carr, and if he can give us an update and a presentation, please.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. I am here tonight to talk about our quarterly update. Oh, there we go. All right. So in the last few months, July, September, we responded to over almost 14,000 calls for service. You'll see 65% of that is non-criminal activity, along with a roughly 25% of traffic-related incidents. This totals out to 12,300 calls for service, with 2,600 of those being criminal cases. And then you'll see there the traffic enforcement. We had 512 traffic-related incidents, with 121 of those being injury collisions. One was a fatal. Our response times, we do our response times from time of pickup on the dispatch phone to time of arrival. So you'll see that we're at 8 minutes for priority 1, 16 minutes for priority 2. If we were to go from the time of en route, you'll see that we're 5.5 and 9. And then we're highlighting here our top arrests for this quarter. Of these 341 arrests, 155 were felonies, 186 were misdemeanors, with our top offenses being warrants and drug possession and paraphernalia. Code enforcement had a great quarter. You can see here we're still keeping track with our administrative citations. There were 774 total cases opened, 223 closed, and we're still monitoring 540 citywide. But we are spreading out, our efforts, trying to make sure that our community stays clean and junk-free. Our Hope services with the homeless, as we continue to, as we continue to develop, and you see the borders and everything, all the immigration coming in, as well as downturns and services. We're still coming across, repeated. We talk about 495 contacts. That is not 495 people. That is just the same people that we've contacted 495 times. The new contacts are the 52. Those are your migrant, transitory, if you will. Those are the ones that one-time contact and they move on. They're going to another area. And then our other services, those are your emergency housing, placement reunification, substance abuse type placements. And here's our CBAT team, which is the officer that rides around with the clinician. You can see that we had 77 total calls for service, with an average of 46 minutes spent, per call. And then again, we're looking at homeless, mental health, number of repeat contacts. These are the people that we're following up with after officers have initial contact. And much like what Chief Olson was talking about, wanted to highlight our traffic enforcement efforts and what's going on in the city. This has been a hot topic, since the PD became live. So here we want to talk about, this was July 1st through September, 389 traffic accidents. As you can see here, the heat map really highlights the Newport corridor as our spot where traffic collisions are the majority. 121 reported in TC actual reports, and then the one fatality. Here's what our activity looks like as far as enforcement. And you'll see almost 2,000 traffic citations, and we talk about 881 additional activity. These are your traffic education stops, pedestrian stops, bicycles, if you will, without helmets. But you can see the amount of enforcement going on, and I'll go back and, oops, it's not going the way I wanted it to. Hang on. Again, traffic collision areas spread out through the city, traffic enforcement efforts. So enforcement alone is not enough to curb the behavior. As Fire said, we are asking for the community to get involved, get engaged, pay attention. Please be responsible to one another. And then I wanted to highlight our OTS efforts. So Office of Traffic Safety every year gives us grants for special enforcements. Last year we ran 5 DUI checkpoints, made 14 DUI arrests, and then had 97 unlicensed or suspended drivers through our checkpoints. In addition, we do saturation patrols. This is where you throw additional officers out in the patrol streets just looking for traffic violations and then seeing what additional violations are maybe being under the influence, suspended license. You can see here we did 13 operations, 7 DUIs, 1 weapon, 4 unlicensed, and then 1 assault investigation. And this all stems just from this enforcement. They're not taking calls for service. They're just out there working, looking for traffic violations. With that concludes my report, unless you have questions for me.
I think we do. Mayor Pro Tem Carwin's in the queue.
Hi, Chief.
Hi.
Hey, I had a question for you about the communication between police and our public utilities. Because we had an issue come up the other day that I want to compliment your department on the responsiveness to it. But there was a huge power outage over by Lalladera Park.
Right.
And I don't know what happened. A transformer looks like it blew or something like that.
Yeah, so that was SoCal Edison out there working on a transformer, underground transformer. We did not get prior notification or notification they were going to be out there servicing it. Usually there will be some alert through us letting us know that there's a power outage. We didn't get that, so I appreciate the communication.
Yeah, well, the reason I'm bringing it up is because we had, I noticed it at about 8 o'clock in the morning. There was a flashing red because the signal was out and was an emergency. That's when school is going. Mm-hmm. So traffic was backed up all the way from Lalladera out to Spirit Park down Normandy and kind of in both directions because it was 1 car at a time at a peak hour. And I know your motors went out there and cleaned up the situation, but what can we do to let your department know about that in advance so we don't have to wait till it's like, is there a communication system we need to put into place between PD and utilities or something like that that's not there?
No, usually if we're going to have a service where a section's going to go down, SoCal Edison will let us know. They will reach out. They send us an email saying, pre-planned event. They'll be in touch with Public Works if there's some kind of digging or something that's going to involve extensive lane closures. Or impacts to a community. So they're pretty good about letting us know, and we have those systems set up. For whatever reason, when this one went out, we just didn't get those notifications. So this could have been an emergency. They saw it trigger, they went out there with their crews and just didn't get the word to us. So with the community, I would say, call our dispatch center. Call our dispatch, just let us know, flashing lights, traffic's backed up, we'll come out, assess it, and get help out there as quick as possible.
Can you just have somebody reach out to them and ask them why that notification wasn't sent in that particular case? If the communication's a failure on their end, or maybe they don't have a new contact or something like that, I want to make sure those lines of communications are open. So if it turns out to be an actual public safety emergency, that we're not behind the 8 ball, that things are closed.
Yeah, no, we can definitely make contact.
Great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And Councilmember Estrada?
Hey, Chief Carr, thank you for your service and the department service for putting your lives on the line every day. My question is about your HOPE stats. I see in the PowerPoint 52 new contacts that come through the city and then leave. Out of the 495 repeated contacts, do you have a ballpark number of how many people make up those 495 repeated?
I can tell you that I'm aware of like 15 names.
Okay.
So it is a lot of the same individual. And this, just to explain, when we go out there and we do these repeat contacts, this is proactive contacts. This is us trying to find resources and offer help. And this is why it's so important that we talk to business owners and talk to the community. Don't provide the handouts. Don't provide the service. Contact us. We have the ways to get them to shelter, get them the medical care they need. This is a choice made by some, and others we're trying to get them the mental health assistance they need. So it is a lot of contact, but it is with purpose.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, council members, or comments? All right, Chief Carr, thank you so much for the great presentation. Council members, we're now on item 6. This is agenda approval or modifications. Madam Clerk, do we have any modifications to our agenda this evening?
No, there are not any
All right, thank you.
modifications.
Okay, thank you. Council members, all in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, our agenda is approved unanimously, and now we're on public comments. This is for non-agenda items. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak on non-agendized matters?
Yes, we have a couple of requests.
All right, so before you call their names, let me just read this. This is time for public, members of the public to address the council about items that are not listed on the agenda. The Brown Act limits the council's ability to respond to comments on non-agendized matters at the time those comments are made. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes on any single non-agenda matter. All right, would you please call our first name?
First is Greg Gladson, followed by Mark Cooper.
Welcome, Mr. Gladson. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. So what I'm here for is, I know it's a multifaceted problem, is I received my property tax bill recently, like a lot of us did. So one thing that caught my eye is the line item for Valleywide. Valleywide is charging me on my taxes $600. What am I getting for that? I know what I'm supposed to get. I don't get it at all. I live in the northern part of the city. We have no parks really around us. We have no hiking trails. We have no pickleball courts. They're supposed to handle the green belt. They don't handle that. I've called them. I've emailed them. I emailed a member on their staff. Is Domagami is the last name. That name's kind of big in this area. Ghosted me. I didn't hear anything. But my property taxes, we moved in 2002, were $149. It's gone up a lot. In 06, they tried to charge me $680. In 03, $629. It's been $199 for 10 years. Then it started going up. In 19 and 20, it went up to $312. That's a 60% increase. 20 to 21, it went up 5%. Another big jump in 21 and to 22, it went up $443, that's 31%. 22 to 23, it went up to last year, $550. That's a 25%. And again, now this one from $555 to $600 is 7.9%. I know that's coming through Valleywide, and I saw an agenda member future, I think you brought it up, is it's gonna be addressed. Yeah. So my question is, on the 24th, is that what's gonna be on the agenda? When you have it on the bottom. I mean, I want to be, because I think Valleywide, I know Menifee wants to take over the parks, which is great, but this is ridiculous how much we have to pay them. Can they keep charging me? It hasn't gone down at all, and inflation is not an issue, so, it's just incredible. But I know we want to get them away from Menifee, get rid of Valleywide, and hopefully that's something that's going to assist. I figured it out, in our area, Stonegate, there's 300 homes, roughly. Even when it was $149, that's $44,000 a year that they're getting from just that one area. And what do we get again? What do we get from it? Nothing. So that's why I wanted to bring it to your attention. If anybody anybody on the council wants to meet, talk about it, I have no problem. Real quick, since I got quick time, is I was here for all the town hall when we were becoming a city. We've been here since '02. We have to remember, Menifee doesn't start at Newport. Menifee starts up, not in McCall even, it's off of Thanet, it's started Menifee. I'd like to see a little more attention maybe paid to that part of town, the way it looks. We got a lot of illegal dumping up in that area. I know it's a lot of rural, but we need to address it. So, you know, let's work together. So that's all I have. I also have some additional documentation from when we bought our house. It talks about how much they're going to charge. 2% they're supposed to charge us, increase every year, max, for the valley-wide. 31%? Come on. That's
Mr. Gladson, thank you for coming tonight and taking your time. We appreciate your good information. All right, and then I think Mr. Cooper's up next,
Yes.
right? Yeah, welcome, Mark.
Good evening, Council. I wasn't going to start this way, but I was in Sun City today. I've lived here about 35 years. Sun City used to be a really, really nice place. You know, the seniors were there, didn't have to worry about speeding cars, you know, but it's gotten to a real bad point. But I'm coming down Sun City Boulevard, turning left onto Cherry Hills, and a homeless individual, I'm assuming, has his bike and dragging another one, goes across, not where the sidewalk is, and I had the green layer, I stopped, let him go. As soon as I went by, every word in the book came at me, and it's unacceptable. You know, these seniors they're just sitting, lying there, waiting for these people to take advantage of them or whatever. And it's sad to even, you know, I take my grandkids down there sometimes, and it's sad. You know, and I lived on dirt roads for many, many years and moved to Sun City 4 years ago. And the traffic has just gone threefold, fourfold. It's down our street on Potomac. The traffic engineer that was here prior, I guess he left, he was from Encinitas, did a report on the count and everything. And he says, we don't even do those along the streets anymore. It's not allowed. It's just a constant thumping music, loud cars, drag strip, just blowing through the stop signs. And Bill knows, I've let him know, this has been going on for quite some time. And I know the police can come out. You know, the first day when they were doing the EMWD project, they must have given 30 tickets, 450 a pop, but they can't be there all the time. You know, and one time I had my grandkids on the sidewalk, boom, you know, here they come, almost coming up on the sidewalk. We need to take responsibility. I mean, I've been had a commercial driver's license since 1981. You know, these people around here just don't care. And I don't know what we're going to do about it, but it seems to be a thoroughfare sometimes, you know, just people going through, and people live here. There's seniors crossing the street to get the mail, you know, and, you know, I don't come to many meetings. I keep in contact with certain individuals, and, you know, it's just not right. And I hope the police can, you know, step in a little bit and maybe do something, because I'll tell you, when the motorcycles came out, it did make a dent on what they were doing. And when they don't see them, it's whatever they want to do. So anyway, I just wanted to bring it to the council's attention. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Cooper. Your words have not fallen on deaf ears. All right, Council. Madam Clerk, any other speakers on non-agenda?
There are no other requests to speak.
All right, thank you. We're going to go ahead and move on our agenda. This next item is 8, and this is council member updates and comments. I'll start with Councilman Dinas.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A few things here since the last city council I was at. I attended a RTA T-Now subcommittee, RTA board of directors meeting. On Thursday, we had the mayor's idea exchange, well attended, on technology. Enjoyed the employee fall appreciation luncheon to honor our employees. And then today, I attended the District 3 State of the Third District presentation. And that's all I have to report.
All right, great report. Thank you. Councilmember Estrada.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On the 5th, I went to the Elsinore State of the City, and good news, they have the city council there has a plan to help clean up Lake Elsinore. I and my family like to go there every once in a while and enjoy the recreation, so it's nice to hear that the council there is aware and they have a plan to clean that lake up. So not only does Elsinore enjoy it, but of course all the neighboring cities do as well. And over the weekend, I helped clean up Gale Webb Action Sports Park, and I wanted to give a announcement and remind anyone here or watching at home, always on the first of the month, on a the first Saturday of the month, anyone can go there and participate in cleaning up and maintaining our parks, and the park rangers are very facilitating to help and leading the way on how to keep our Menifee parks clean. That's all I got.
All right, good report. Thank you. Councilmember Sobek, you're up.
Thank you, Mayor, and good evening, everyone. I'd just like to report out, first of all, that I attended Animal Friends of the Valley as the alternate, and there's been we have, I guess you can say, coyotes are roaming our neighborhoods in Menifee, that the rural areas are kind of shrinking and they're just getting used to it. So I had a conversation with them about that, and what I was told is that the packs normally will go out at night, but if there's a young male, a lot of times he'll come out during the day and practice scavenging. They did say there's something we can do as residents, and that is if you do have an issue or you've seen coyotes, you can put silver Mylar balloons along your fence, and for some reason that keeps them away. But they've worked with Fish and Wildlife, and they said that there's just really nothing that can be done other than just be careful and keep your eyes out. So I want to let you know that. I attended the Park Ad Hoc Committee where we discussed about Valleywide. And the mayor and I serve on that ad hoc committee, and we've been making great strides. This picture here is the Citizens Academy, the fall 2020 graduates, and it was just great to attend and to hear their comments about the city and what they've learned. So if you've not heard of our city Citizens Academy, it's done twice a year, and our Economic Development Department does a fantastic job of helping these residents learn more about how the city's ins and outs work. This morning I attended the State of the County, and then I just want to mention that tomorrow we have our State of the City, and everyone is invited for free. We have our Fall Festival coming up. We saw earlier this evening that we acknowledged Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and what's really cool about this is that if you have any kids that want to go to the kids zone, parents, it's a donation or a toiletry item, and all of that will go to our local domestic violence shelter. So bring the kids out, dress up in costumes. It's going to be a great couple of days here in Menifee with a lot of fun things to do. And if you do come out to the birthday bash tomorrow night, you get to see the brand new football stadium at MSJC.
All right, is that that's it? Very good, thank you very much. And our report from Mayor Pro Tem Carwin.
Thank you. Short report from me. I attended the City Employee Appreciation Luncheon. That was excellent. And I wanted to piggyback on something Councilmember Sobek said about the state of the city tomorrow. We got a theme. It's our 15-year birthday bash. All of our council members are going to be wearing these cool jerseys, and we encourage everybody to come out and wear your favorite team jersey. It's a sports-themed event, so it's going to be a casual, fun time. So come on out and help us celebrate year number 15.
Excellent. Very good report, and I'm glad you mentioned that because there were some people that were saying they were thinking they were going to wear a suit and tie, and I was like, no. This one's more of a celebration.
You look like a team owner rather than a team player, and
yeah,
that's not the costume.
No. All right, I'm going to try to be quick with my report. It was a busy last 2 weeks since October 4th. On the Friday the 6th, I attended the Murrieta Temecula group meeting at Wilson Creek Winery, and the speaker was the presiding judge, Judy Clark. You may know her from Riverside Superior Court, and she was looking forward to the new facility being here and her entire team gearing up to make that move and get things started here with the civil court. So it was good to hear from her. On Saturday the 7th, I attended the Faith in Blue event. It was over at Spirit Park, and it was very well attended. There was quite a few people, a lot of families there. And then there was a Clean Air Day, an electric vehicle expo. It was at MSJC in the parking lot that morning on Saturday. And then I caught the tail end of an event that Valleywide hosts every year called Dog Days over at Aldergate Park. On Tuesday the 10th, I was a representative.
Did you say you caught the tail end of that?
Did you get that? You see what I'm doing there, Bob?
Yes.
That's why I like you, Bob. You're quick. All right. The High School Student of the Month over in Paris, and that's, Sally Meyer's program. And so we got to recognize all of our local high school students for this month and their great academic achievements. Let's see, also that day, that was a busy day. I went to the community partners meeting that was over at the Menifee Library. And then Assemblyman Asali came to visit here, and he met our executive team, and he brought his team from Sacramento. And we got to kind of share some concerns and things that we have here in Menifee, and financial requests as well. And it was a good meeting. Then we had our Parks Ad Hoc Committee. I attended that with Councilmember Sobek. And that evening was the Citizens Academy, and it was their, they took a tour around the city, and then they came in here for their graduation ceremony, and we got to show our appreciation for them for taking their time and doing that. They're great ambassadors now. They know as more than we do as far as how everything works here. Later that night, the Quail Valley Community Group held their meeting, and the speaker was EMWD representatives, and they got updates on their septic to sewer over there in Project Area 4. All right, and then Wednesday, 11th, I attended RCTC Commission in Riverside County. And then on Thursday, the 12th, I hosted the Mayor's Idea Exchange, and thank you, Councilmember Dinas, for joining us. It was about manufacturing, and that was Manufacturing Month, and we held it over at MSJC's Makerspace, so it was kind of a good opportunity for a lot of our local business owners and future business owners to kind of see what's happening at the college. And then we had an employee appreciation event for our staff and volunteers in the community I attended, and then also the Neighbors Regional Business Expo was held in Temecula, and it's lots of different chambers of commerce, really great event. On Monday, the 16th, I attended the ad hoc committee. I wanted to tell you guys about this. It's a new ad hoc committee, subcommittee to RCTC, and it's focused on the Highway 79 corridor. So Winchester Road coming up from Temecula, working its way up Warren Avenue and up towards the Lamb Canyon. And so some of you may remember that was a CTAP corridor project, and it's been in the works from the county for many years, and they've got right-of-way acquisition in place, and the environmental has been completed, and they've also done all of their mitigation for that. So there's 3 different segments, and so they asked me to serve on that committee along with a Hemet representative and a Temecula representative. And a San Jacinto representative, and our county supervisor, Chuck Washington. So that's this ad hoc committee, and I will be reporting to you as we go along with that group. All right, finally, on Tuesday the 17th, the Chamber of Commerce held that was yesterday, a chamber wake-up. It was over at the Diamond Stadium, and I attended that. This morning, I was at the State of the County by Supervisor Washington there at Pechanga, and it was a really good, very informative. Boy, there's a lot going on in our county. And then thank you guys for announcing the state of the city. And I know this Community Cupboard has an event on Friday night called Celebrity Karaoke, and hopefully some of us can attend that. It's always a fun one. And I'm looking forward to our fall festival. And I'm glad that our team is working with our local car club, the Cruisers, and they're going to be doing a trunk or treat for the kids that night at our fall festival on Saturday. So come one, come all. It's over at MSJC. Hopefully the weather will cool down a little bit, and that is my report. All right, council members, do we have anything else to add? All right, hearing none, we're going to move on to item 9. This is the approval of our minutes, but there's none to approve, so we'll go to item 10. This is our consent calendar. All matters on the consent calendar will be approved in one motion unless a council member requests a separate action on a specific item on the consent calendar. If an item is removed from the consent calendar, it'll be discussed individually and acted upon separately. So, council, first let me ask, Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak on any of our consent calendar items?
No, we do not.
All right, and then council members, do we have any items that we would like to pull for separate discussion? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve our consent calendar?
So moved.
All
Second.
items, okay. Have a motion and a second. We'll do electronic voting.
Okay.
You gotta
I'm gonna
call
try
roll.
it. I'm just gonna try and kick it into whatever and see if I can get it populated on the screen so you can vote. But, so I have, Councilmember Sobek made the motion. Who seconded?
Councilman Dynas?
Okay. Let's see.
And Sarah, if that doesn't work, we can just do a roll call vote.
Okay. Okay, let's do roll call.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Councilmember Dynas?
Yes?
Councilmember Estrada?
Yes.
Councilmember Sobek?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Carwin?
Yes.
And Mayor Zimmerman?
Yes, so that passes unanimously. I'm looking at our agenda here for public hearing. There's no items, item 11. There's no discussion items, item 12. Mr. City Attorney, do you have anything to report for us, sir?
Not tonight, Mayor.
All right, and I just wanted to make an announcement real fast that we have an introduction of our new CFO, Travis Hickey. Travis, do you mind coming to the podium? We'd kind of like to meet you and welcome you aboard. I know Travis came from the city of Santa Fe Springs, and we're glad to have you as one of our team members here in Menifee. So welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. It's a pleasure to be here to meet everybody. And I was with City of Santa Fe Springs for a little over 12 and a half years. Before that, I spent about 14 years auditing California cities all throughout the state. And so really excited to be back in Riverside County. I'm a lifetime Riverside County resident and excited to get started and see what I can bring to the city of Menifee.
All right, well, welcome. We got a great team here, and we're glad to have you be a part of it.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, council members, do we have any future agenda requests? Okay, Mayor Pro Tem?
Yeah, I have one. I'd like a future agenda item to discuss the possibility of a street name change from Comey View to Comet View. This is a street where everyone on the street, all the street signs said Comet View. And then when we got all of our new street signs, it was apparently Comet View was an error, and it was originally Comey View, but the plat map says Comet View, so all the people's titles and driver's licenses and everything like that says Comet View, but the street says Comey. So I know we tried to do some outreach to the residents and didn't get a lot of response to it, but I'd like to have that reviewed so there's to quell the confusion.
Yeah,
Second.
Yeah, okay, so we got a second from Councilmember Estrada, and it's good for us to have that discussion and hear from our Public Works Director to bring us up to speed on which is the best way to go on that. So, all right, any others, council members? All right, just want to do a quick reminder before we adjourn that the 215 freeway southbound might be a little bit congested. And so if you're heading south, you might want to take an alternate route, Hahn or Antelope, because of the bridge work. So with that, we're going to adjourn. It is 7:09. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for being here. Have a great night. See you tomorrow night at the State of the City.